Thanks for tuning in to have a recap of May's numbers so you can understand our market and where we're going. Let's dive in. Many of you have asked to see and understand our heat map. So let's take a quick look. So as you can see here on the map, we are looking at various colors. You're like, what does it mean? So let's come across here, and I want to give you an example. So in Chandler 85226, we're in an absolute frenzy because we have 29 homes active and 31 under contract. But in contrast, if we come across here and we go over to Levine, where we see a balanced market. And as you look across the valley, as you can see, the green areas indicate a balanced market. Versus when we look at, just say here in Gilbert and 85233, it is hot. And as we go across the valley, you can see the difference in color changes, and that indicates the differences across the valley. And this is essential to understand whether you're buying or selling a home. You have to understand what is going on in that particular neighborhood. As you can see here in this part of Phoenix, 85034, it is an absolute frenzy. We only have 5 homes active and 9 under contract. So keep that in mind. We have several sellers reach out to us and say, well, that means I don't have to fix my house. No, it doesn't. It just means that you will have more people look at it, but you may not get an offer. Make sure, especially with our interest rates being as high as they are, that you are fixing your house and have it ready to sell. Depends on where you are in the valley. You can have it ready, but you may not have the same demand. So let's keep that in mind as we look across the valley. So now I want to show you, as you can see here on the heat map, it varies. I would love for you to reach out to me about your part of town. As many of you know, we had a house that was on the market only a day. We had a couple of offers, and by the second day, we just had multiple offers. It was a great time for the sellers, but my sellers were ready. The house was ready. So therefore, we did receive multiple offers. So let's go over here. I want to show you, oh, sorry, wrong tab. I want to show you comparing month over month where we are. And you see a lot of red. And why is it red? So when we look at June 1st compared to May 1st, we have more active listings. So if you're a seller, once again, make sure your house is ready to go on the market because you are going to have more competition. And again, these are valley-wide numbers. If you want to know more about your area, your neighborhood, because it varies by neighborhood, not just city and zip code, let's do a deep dive for you, but I'm just giving you an overview. But as you can see, we have red because we have more homes active versus being pending month over month. So keep that in mind, whether you are buying or selling. When we look at days on the market, though, you can see days on the market went down a little here. So which is good. When we look at the average sales price by percentage, we are up. But as far as the median price, we are equal. So I want us to take a little bit of a moment to ask questions if you have them, and let me know what part you may be wondering about. So let's come over here. I want to look at our city rankings. And you're probably wondering, what am I talking about? We're talking average cost per square foot. So as you can see, we're looking at the changes from our current year to last year. And this was as of May 15th. These are when these numbers were pulled. So this year, we're up 13.9% in Paradise Valley, Scottsdale 5.4. But in contrast, if we go down, let's say to Gold Canyon, we're down 3.4%. And let's slide down. I want to show you this. Sorry about that. It's not sliding. Okay. So, but if we went down the Coolidge, we're down 6.5%. That keep that in mind when whether you're buying or selling. And then we're seeing Tonopah. And what I want you to see with me picking out these that have the greater difference between this year and last year is I want you to see that these are your areas that are a little further out. And many people ask me, so what difference does it make if it is further out or if it's close in? The same as far as the price of the house. It's the cost per square foot. So you'll see a lot of times that we'll see a decrease in demand as we see an increase in the cost of gasoline. So keep that in mind as well if you are selling your home or if you're buying a home. If you're buying a home, a lot of times if you are shopping further out, you may get more concessions or a better price on the home because it may not be as great of a demand. So I like you to be informed whether you're buying or selling because there are certain areas of the valley you will have a greater opportunity to get assistance from that seller or a better price on the home. So let's take a little bit more of a look at our data here. And I want to keep you aware of what we have going on. So if you can look here, you will see that our monthly average, we're looking at $298.58. And you can see the annual average is $291. But the most important thing that I think most of us are looking at is what about our overall appreciation? And we're in the green. And that's the most important thing or component that I like to point out when we're looking at all of these numbers. What is the overall appreciation and what are we going to see? So I want to kind of give you a summary of a little bit more of the information, and we can look at the infograph and help you to be able to understand kind of where we are and where we're expected to go. So I'm going to pull that up for you, and let us just take a quick look, and I'll pull that here. So make this a little bit bigger. If you're like me, you might need it a little bit bigger so you can see. So we will look here. So I want you to see that overall for the month of May, usually we see a huge swing in our spring market. We did not see that. It was still a little suppressed as far as demand, and that's because of the interest rates. We usually see a higher spike than what we saw, but buyers are still out. We're still seeing multiple offers, but we are also seeing that our sellers are a little bit more accommodating just because the interest rates are higher. What I'm telling you is we are still seeing an upswing in active listings. Under contract is down, but we are still seeing a steady increase in the prices of the homes because we have such a great demand here in our metro area with jobs, our weather, and just overall comfort as far as being here in the valley and consistent weather. And we have so many jobs that are coming as well. So what I want to kind of point out here is that most cities have a weak seller's market. Only a few have a full-blown buyer's market. And as I showed you on the map, and I'll flip back to that in just a second, we don't have a ton of cities that are seeing a full frenzy. And that is just because, let's go here. Sorry about that. And that's just because as you can see across the valley, we only have a few areas where we have a full frenzy. And again, that's because of the market as far as our interest rates. So I would say make sure if you are planning to sell, have your home ready. If you can't afford to get everything done, be prepared to give an allowance and make sure that that buyer doesn't have to do that basic cleaning, declutter, make sure your home is ready. Because as you can see, if we go back to these numbers, we have an increase in the number of listings. And this is key for you if you are a seller. If you're a buyer, keep that in mind as well, but it depends on where you're looking across the valley. Also want to point out to you, look at the median days on market. That is important for you as well. We were up from last year, 22, 8 days, 23, 22, and this year, 27 days. And look at the supply of homes, 90 days worth of supply, which is important for you to realize when we are looking at the market and preparing, if you're a seller, preparing your house to go on the market, or if you're a buyer, let's make sure we're looking at the map, knowing where you want to live so that we have a plan in place to get you the home that you want. So please reach out to me with all of your questions. I am here to help, and I look forward to being able to be your realtor and provide you with assistance, whether you're planning to buy, you planning to sell. Many of you are looking at downsizing. Your kids are going off to college, and you're like, I don't need this huge house. You have tons of equity. Maybe you're downsizing to your forever home. So let me know how I can be of assistance. Donna Allman with RE/MAX. Bye-bye.